It was the summer of 2004. Three friends, David, Alex, and Mark, decided to spend the weekend at the abandoned Willow House, deep in the woods of Willow Creek, far from the nearest town. Locals called it cursed, built in 1912 on land once owned by a woman accused of witchcraft. They said before she was taken away, she whispered a curse, "No peace, no rest, until they see me." For 50 years, the house stood empty. Paint peeling, windows shattered, vines crawling up its stone walls like black veins. Yet some claimed that at night they saw a woman in a torn white dress standing in the upstairs window, silently watching. David, Alex, and Mark didn't believe in ghosts. They thought it would be fun. A night of drinks, stories, and maybe some creepy footage for their YouTube channel. They arrived late on Friday evening, the sun sinking behind the trees, turning the sky blood red. The air smelled damp, heavy, almost rotten. As they stepped inside, the floor creaked loudly under their feet. Dust floated in the last light, making everything look frozen in time. David set up his camera facing the narrow staircase leading to the dark second floor. Mark unpacked the sleeping bags near the cold fireplace, while Alex walked around shining his flashlight into empty rooms. Broken chairs, cracked mirrors, and dark stains on the floor that didn't look like old paint. By midnight, they gathered in the living room, telling ghost stories and laughing nervously. But their laughter stopped when David suddenly whispered, "Do you hear that?" Silence fell, and in that silence they all heard it too. Slow, heavy footsteps above them, steady, deliberate, too human to be an animal. Mark whispered, "Maybe it's just the house settling." But deep down they knew it wasn't. David, holding the camera, moved toward the stairs. Every step creaked, echoing in the empty hall. "Hello?" he called softly. Only silence answered. Then from the top of the stairs, they heard it. A woman's whisper, so faint it almost blended with the darkness. "Get out." David froze, his hand shaking. The camera caught only shifting shadows and cracked walls. Behind him, Alex's voice trembled. "Let's leave. Now." But David whispered, "Wait, I thought I saw something move." Mark turned on his flashlight, the beam trembling as he raised it toward the stairs. For just a heartbeat, they saw her. A woman in a dirty white dress, black hair hanging over her face, standing so still it felt unreal. Then, in the blink of an eye, she vanished. Alex shouted, "Run!" and the three stumbled backward, knocking over a broken chair. The air turned ice cold, their breath visible even in summer. Somewhere deep inside the house, they heard a low, rumbling growl, like something waking from a long sleep. They ran toward the hallway, the front door now half open as if inviting them to leave. Before they could escape, David dropped the camera. On the shaky footage later, you can hear him whisper, "She's behind us." Mark spun around but saw only darkness. Alex swears he felt a freezing hand on the back of his neck, cold as death itself. Finally, they burst through the door into the night, hearts pounding, lungs burning, breath misting in the summer air that felt as cold as winter. They didn't stop running until they reached their car parked by the road. From the driveway, David turned back for one last look. In the upstairs window, the woman stood again, watching silently. The next morning, they returned to get the camera. On the footage, they found themselves laughing, talking, then the footsteps, the whisper, and just before the camera fell, a dark human-shaped shadow behind David. Locals still say the Willow House is cursed, built on anger and fear, and that anyone who enters after midnight will see her too. Would you dare to spend a night in the house on Willow Creek, knowing something might already be waiting for you?